Hello, and welcome to Dolphin's Dive, the weekly, strategically minded Sentinels of the Multiverse and One Deck Dungeon stream, brought to you by yours truly, Dolphin. Handelabra believes in civil rights for everyone and in being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. You can follow us at Handelabra Games on Twitch and Handelabra at Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can follow me personally at Dolphin21 on Twitter, that T-word, and Dolphin, no digits, at Twitch and what's the other one? YouTube. Yeah. I always stumble right there. I don't know why. You can get more info about Sentinels of the Multiverse at sentinelsdigital.com and One Deck Dungeon at handelabra.com/onedeckdungeondigital. But hello and welcome to the last Dolphin's Dive of the year. This is it for Dolphin's Dive for 2018. I will not see you guys again until 2019. Oh my gosh, it's like this joke has never been used before, ever. But we will be doing the usual routine, or at least the past month usual routine of one deck dungeon game followed by one Sentinels of the Multiverse game. And that game that I will play is a gauntlet game. Dun dun dun! So you can see here that I've actually unlocked gauntlet mode, which is something I've been working towards for the past month-ish. Not really like focusing on it, but the past week I realized I'm actually one boss away from doing it, and the last boss I had to face was Lich. And I had a lot of difficulty with this, mostly because I was playing on veteran difficulty. But the weakness curse, any 2s rolled are immediately discarded. It seemed like any time I tried to get a good setup, then I would always face a dungeon where more than half of my dice were 2s, and then I would subsequently take a lot of damage and die. And then once I got to the boss, the first time each boss with a skull is covered, discard the die, and you can see there's 3 of those. The number you need to place on there is a 3, but you put it on there, it gets discarded. You place it again, it sticks, but you kind of have to make sure you have that, fallback of, I'm going to place it here if I have enough. And so I had to strategize sometimes as to whether it was worth even trying to cover the box. If you don't cover it, you don't do 1 damage to the boss, but you do take 1 heart of damage, as opposed to the 17, 16, and 15 on the right-hand side, where you can take 3, 4, and or 5 hearts of damage if you don't cover those. The attempt that I won, I actually did cover all of them, both rounds, and so I was able to overkill the boss and not take any consequences, but it was certainly very difficult to get a hero to that point that was set up enough to be able to mitigate whatever luck factors fell upon them. But we have unlocked gauntlet mode, and I guess I have my run here, Rogue is adventuring in Dragon's Cave. I started this just to see how it worked, so I have not done anything with that, but I might as well continue, because I mean, like, it's the actual very first one deck dungeon game. It was Rogue in Dragon's Cave. Now, I think it is veteran difficulty. It says here veteran. So it's not quite the first game I did on stream, in that the difficulty is a little ramped up. But it is basically the same as the original stream. Now, from what I can understand of gauntlet mode, it's basically you're just going to play all of these bosses in succession, and you get as far as you can, and then once you lose, you're out, is my guess. We do have a checklist here, and I think the earned check marks after the game should be up here in this spot, but whatever. It's a fresh checklist, so I don't have start each game with any 1 basic skill unlocked. I do not have 1 extra health unlocked. I do not have each game starting with an extra potion. I don't have any talent or focus, or whatever the word is, I keep forgetting. I don't have any focus unlocked, so I don't have any focus skills there. So if I resume my game of Rogue in Dragon's Cave, I don't have any skills, I don't have any extra health, and I am playing on veteran, so I'm starting on level 1 with 1 item, 2 skills, and no heroic dice. So let's see how this goes. But hello, Janagro, Bella Sorciere, and Seamus Butler, and welcome. We're getting this gauntlet game started. We'll see how far I can go. Beat X bosses in as few games as possible. Okay, well, I probably won't beat all the bosses in a single night, but let's see. Spend time for each skill you use. Mana or agility 10, mana 3, 4, 5, strength 5, 3. I don't think I want to face him right now. Dude wants to go all the way. Magic shield, rush through. I can rush through pretty nicely. I'm not going to use my heroic feat with 4 dice. I should be able to do this. Barring bad luck like this. Alright, well, I should have used the heroic feat then. Alright, we're off to a terrible start. Oh well. I will take the mana die. I do have 1 potion to heal 3 damage. I'm going to go do that because it's a basic potion. Alright, let's pretend that didn't happen, shall we? Alright, we have the boulder. This time, ooh, I do want that skill. An extra heroic die is very nice. I will run past it. I will use the heroic feat. I don't really like rolling 2 dice because there's a 30% chance of rolling a 1. But with 1 die, it's only in... What's 1/6? That's 16.7. Alright, we got the 2. And we got the 14. Okay. I will take the Valor. Second door has... Ooh, this guy. Discard all 1s and 3s. This is all I know of him. His name's Phantom, but what I know him for is discard all 1s and 3s, which means I don't really want to face him when I don't have too many dice. Granted, well, I mean, we don't have good strength die right now, or good strength power. We have good agility, so we will most likely cover the 4, 5, and 6 on agility. Well, maybe not necessarily the 6, but... the strength is a concern. I have 1 heroic die from Daring Gamble, maybe 2 if I take the Daring Gamble. And now I have the Valor die, and I have the Strength die, and the 3 mana die aren't good for anything but to create heroic die, which is generally not good for making 6s and 5s unless I manage to roll 2 6s or 2 at least 5s with a mana. So I'm going to flee this encounter. Now my stealth skill, when you flee, you may add 1 door to the dungeon if under the door limit. Oops, I did want to add the door. I want to use the skill, which means I have to press this button. So this is nice because I don't have to spend like 2 extra time to get this door added. So it saves time. EJDD hyped up for next Sentinels expansion and Aeon's End. Yes! That's all coming in 2019. I am excited for it. It's the cave-in. I think this was one that we saw previously, right? This was the arrow wall, which is similar except different. Climbing over it seems like the better choice. And I learned my lesson last time. If I do that, then I will roll 1. And it's a 1. So I take hard damage and lose 3 times, and that 1 does me no good. Oh, but whoa, 3 6s. So I in fact did not need to do the Daring Gamble, but oh well. I don't really need the agility, but that Flame Weave skill, spend 2 mana to gain a mana 5, is pretty nice. Any skill that gives you a fixed number die generally is pretty good, because it can mitigate bad luck. Hello, Example Prime. Alright, do I dare go face the Shadow now? I'm definitely not fighting Phantom. Phantom is scary when you don't have many dice, because if I roll all 1s and 3s, then I just take all the penalties. But the Shadow... strength is still an issue, and we spend time for each skill we use. But for each tile we cover, we certainly don't take that damage, which is important. And I do have Flame Weave, so I can cover the 5 guaranteed on mana. I'm gonna go for it. I will do the Daring Gamble. Roll a 2. Goes towards agility. Or maybe I can use it on Flame Weave, depending on how these dice go. Ooh, boy. Well, our strength is poor, but our mana is decent. Our agility is more than decent. I'll cover with those. But we do have a bit of misfortune here in that I can't cover more than just these. If I do Flame Weave, I would convert this Heroic 2 into a 5, and that will cover the mana 4, saving me a heart of damage, and I think that's worth it for sure. If I do Valor, I need to at least roll a 3 in order for it to be worth it, to save a heart of damage. I roll a 1. Well, sounds like one deck dungeon to me. You tend not to run because it's a pretty significant time cost. Well, if you do the encounter and you can't cover enough of the die things, and you end up taking at least 2 time in consequences, but you take damage as well, it's kind of, you know, like, you generally, I think a good idea is to run if you, like, at the very least, if you think if you face the encounter, you will spend at least 2 time. Because otherwise, it's better to run if you would spend 2 or more time as consequences, because then it's basically about equal, and then you could return with better setup. If you expect 1 time, but you're going to take 3 damage, it's also probably worth running. I don't generally necessarily work all that out in my head, but I do think, oh gosh, there's a lot of bad things that can happen in this fight, and I don't want to start thinking about it. I'm going to take the experience, because we're filled on everything. Alright, and I don't want to face the Phantom still. Now we're here. It is the locked door. Well, there's no other empty doors. So if I want to... Or, sorry. No other... what's this called? If under the door limit. Yeah, we're at the door limit, so I can't flee and gain a door, which would be one reason to flee. Picking the lock, I could certainly do. I don't really... I guess, well, I have a mana. Replacing it with a strength isn't really going to do me too much, and I don't really care about Shimmer Blast. I might as well enter. I'll spend 1 time here. I'm going to skip the feat, because I am a brave person who did not learn from last mistake. Well, I did not suffer this time. So we got the 2, we got the 8, end the encounter. So if I replace the mana with a strength, I'll have 2 strength and 2 mana, so I'm going to go for that to try to balance my stats out. In Dragon's Cave, the boss, the agility is actually, like, it's important to get the 2 5s, but it's the mana and the strength that do prevent most of the damage to you. In terms of doing damage to the boss, you need to have 6s in each of the colors, and heroic dice cannot be played on skull boxes, so I do want to have a good mana and a good strength. My agility, rogue has a good innate agility, but certainly that's something to ponder as we go forward. We have the skeleton. If any boxes are empty, spend 2 time. That potion, invisibility, allows you to skip to the claim loot phase as long as you spend 2 time before an encounter, but you have to use the potion. But it can certainly help with, you know, getting past the guy at the stage or whatever. Yeah, let's go for it. We do have Valor. We have to dare and gamble. I'm gonna do it. Got a 4. That can cover some of the mana squares, but the strength is the bigger priority. I could Flame Weave, but I don't need to. I don't have the agility 5, which is unfortunate. Might as well use Valor, because it's a free skill. It gets me another 4. So let's keep that mana 5. because I could maybe convert that, but I guess it's not too useful for conversion. Actually, no, yeah, let's not do that because that's not going to help at all. And then I can cover this, I can cover that. Actually, I can use this mana 5. And the way to use it is to put this heroic die here. Put these 3s here. Spend the heroic 4 on Flameweave to get that 5, and then convert both mana 5s into a heroic 5. And that way I can cover up one of these 2 squares, and it doesn't matter which. I'm still going to die, though, because I'm taking 1 heart of damage, which puts me at 4. I'm going to spend 5 time. 2 minus 5 is -3, so I will reveal the door and put 3 hearts on the door, which does 1 damage to Rogue. So this was a very bad encounter. We already died. And worse yet, we got no stats for this. You are unable to seal the dungeon, and it remains a source of danger for one and all. It and 4 more dungeons remain in the gauntlet. So, let's try that again. But yeah, it's not a last as long as you can. It's a beat all 5 bosses in as few games as possible, so we can lose and gain stats or gain check marks that can help. But unfortunately, we didn't gain any check marks. Ogre is definitely not one I'm going to face right now because that's a lot of strength I need. Once more, with feeling. Fellow Sorcier says, I'm sorry, every time I joke about someone dying in a game, they do. I was banned from doing it in an RPG group. No worries. Dexterity is a good skill. Convert 1 item to experience. Joke's on you, I have none. But mana and strength are not my 2 strengths. Let's try this again. Door number 3. We have an ooze. And spend time for each one rolled, but again, mana and strength. I'm just gonna flee again. I don't like these encounters. Alright, something I can do, because climb over it is viable here. I'm gonna climb over it. I'm gonna do the Daring Gamble. Get a 5, good start. Remaining dice, I got 6s, excellent. I didn't even need to do the Daring Gamble. So that skill, Crushing Blow, gain a strength 6, means I no longer care about what that strength die gives me, really. But more dice is certainly nice, but I like the fixed number skills. I'm gonna go explore because I still don't want to face the other 3s. I'm wasting a lot of time just to get this door added. And it gives me another one of these cave-ins. And this one gives me Flameweave, which I think we had previously as well. So let's do the same thing we did before. Oh, I got a 6 this time. Alright, my dice rolls are better this time. Not as good there, but good enough. And I'll take Flameweave. I still don't want to face these, so I'm gonna just spend 2 extra time to add 1 door. Let's see what this one has. It's a rat, which is kind of bad because X is 16. X equals 4 per open door, including this one. Guess what? They're all open. This is really not good because I have to do really good rolls between my 4 agility and then I don't know what else, but I need to start doing something. So I'm going to enter this encounter and I'm going to actually roll 2 with the Daring Gamble. Gets 2 6s! Perfect! That is a 1 out of 36 chance. I also got 2 agility 6s. This is like nut rolls right here. So I can cover, let's see. I don't know what the best way to cover those are, but I can definitely cover the 3, I can cover the 5, and I can cover that 3. And actually, I can cover all of these squares because We had a really good roll, so that actually worked out. Thank you, dice, for working in my favor this time. I could take the experience, but I'm gonna take the die because reasons. All right, what now? If I fight the Wraith, I lose the item I just gained, except it goes to experience, so it's not bad. But the Glooping Ooze, spend time for each one rolled, but there's a lot of mana, a lot of strength. Let's do the same thing we did before, and I'm gonna roll 2 heroics. I'm gonna get 2 6s. I got a 2 and a 4. Well, it's none of them is a 1, so that's fine. Got some 1s. We got 1 1. Okay. Well, I'll cover the 2. Actually, cover the 2 with that, because that's not good for anything else. Cover the 4. Convert the mana 3 into a 5 to cover that one. And then my 4, well, yeah, we'll cover that. I can convert 2 of my lowest agilities into a heroic that I can push into Crushing Blow to get the 6. My heroic 4 does that. And then my strength 3 that's remaining, I can get with the heroics. So again, a flawless encounter despite the terrible odds. I do probably want to get that mana though, because I have enough agility. Do I want to fate the Wraith now? I don't think so. I will lose what I just gained. Let's explore. Then we enter this door. It's a beetle. Is it actually? Yeah, it is literally called beetle. Yes! If any armor boxes are empty, discard this instead of looting. So I absolutely have to cover the armors, but we certainly have the mana and the strength covered. We just need the agilities. So I'm gonna have to go for it because we're running out of time. And I only have 1 strength die. So I'm gonna roll the 2 heroics again, and I still haven't rolled a 1. So that's been working out. Not as happy with those rolls, but let's see what we can do here. We can cover that 3, cover that 4, cover that 3, and a 5. Several ways that could get covered. I don't need the agility 1. The mana 2 I can convert to a 5. So I'm going to convert the agility 3 and put that towards Crushing Blow to get that 6. So now this 6 can go here, this 4 can go there, and this 3 can go there, and we're done! Flawless again. Mana, I already have. The skill, accuracy, it is a fixed dice thing, but I have to spend 3 agility die to get it, and that's pretty costly, so I'm going to take the experience. Alright, moving on. This door is a rune, the rune puzzle. If I spend 2 time, I can decipher it for only 6 mana. If I destroy it, no time, but I have to do 11 strength, and I only inherently have 1 strength die, which first I have to cover the 2, and then I have to cover the 11, so that's pretty difficult. So decipher it is the way to go. I have 3 mana dice. Thank you, Example Prime. Have a good night. See you later. I have to cover the 2, and then I have to get a sum of 6 across the remaining 2 dice. I do have Flame Weave, though, which can be used in the Peril encounters. I'm going to skip this, because all I have to do is roll at least 2 2s to do this. And I did. So, I don't want the agility. Persistence. Spend 2 strength to roll a strength and a heroic. I generally don't like the skills that involve rolls. Although there is an argument to be made that I could put 2 strength 1s into this, and then it's like, okay, I get a chance at a new strength and then a heroic die that can be used anywhere, but Crushing Blow and Flame Weave are good enough. So I'm going to take the experience because that levels me up and I get a heroic die. Okay, so do I want to stay on this floor? If I do, I have to face either the Ogre or the Wraith. The Ogre I am certainly not doing. I still don't have enough strength to take him on. The Wraith, I will lose the mana die I have. But I do have this heroic die now that can help deal with things. However, there are 4 strength spots I have to cover, and I still only have 1 strength die. Even if I do 2 dice with a daring gamble, it'd still be difficult to cover all of the strength unless my agility rolls are really good, because my mana will certainly be dedicated to covering the 9. So I'm going to descend. At the very least, descending gives me 1 check mark at the end. Leveling up gave me a check mark, so I'm currently at 2 check marks that will help with future gauntlet shenanigans. So now we explore, we enter this door. This door has the Writhe! I think if the answer to the previous one was no, then the answer to this one is also no. Especially because now Flame Aura adds another mana 5 to that encounter. The Ice Elemental, before the encounter, spend 3 time, mostly strength and mana, mana, so I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm trying to find something that involves agility, damn it! Goblin? Goblin. Ah, there's agility here, but it's another X equals 4 per open door guy. I have to enter this one now. And we've gotten pretty lucky with the 2s, right? So it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna roll a 1 this time, oops. Oh well, that 1 can go towards Crushing Blow at least, so that helps. Because I do have to cover the 12 armor. So we'll put that towards the Strength 6. I do want to think about that Strength 5 that's there though. Mana, I can get the 5 easily with Flame Weave, so that covers that for surezies. Agility, we're covered. And if I ignore the need for strength, I have the others covered. So the question is, what can I do with what's here? I can convert these 2 into a 4. I can convert these 2 to a 1, which is going to give me a 9 here. So that's not good enough. If I sacrifice this 4, of all these penalties, the one that's the least bad is time. So if I can get away with not covering this agility 4, I spend only 1 time as opposed to 1 damage or 2 damage or 1 heart, 1 damage, or 1 heart, 1 time. If I do that, that turns that 1 into a 3. So I have a 4 and I have a 3. That gives me 11, but that's still not good enough. I do have this agility 5 though, and this 4 is good enough for that spot as well. So these 2 5s turn into a heroic 5, and this 4-3 turns into a heroic 3, and that's enough to cover the shield. And then I can cover the remaining squares except for that 4 that I sacrificed. But that's certainly better than what we were getting before, so. Alright. I have leveled up so I can have 2 more items and 1 more skill. Shimmer Blast, spend 3 mana to roll a heroic die. I don't have lots of mana. I have 3 mana, which is actually decent, but I do want that strength die. Now let's check this door. It's another beetle. Should be... Well, we didn't just fight a beetle for some reason. I thought we did. I'm gonna enter. Better spread of dice here. I'm gonna do 1 daring gamble. Roll a 2, but that's good enough for Crushing Blow. So hopefully my remaining strength die are good. They're both 1s. So that's kind of really bad. In fact, I rolled many 1s, which is dreadful. So certainly one of, like, no die that is lower than 3 is going to be able to be used directly. So I'm gonna cast those aside. Yeah, that 3 and that 4 can go there. I can put that mana there. I have to cover that shield, which I can only do with the strength 6. I can cover the mana 1. And this 4, I sort of have a choice between these two. And even if I flame weave, the problem with flame weave is that I'm not going to be able, like, even if I get a 5 out of it, I'm not going to be able to convert anything to something useful. I can put the 5 there and I gain this mana 6, but this mana 6 doesn't help because I can't get a heroic die with these because all of these will turn to 1s or 2s. So that's just not going to happen. So that mana 6 is staying there. So the choice is between spending 2 time or taking 1 heart of damage. And I'm going to opt for time, actually, because after this encounter, I can use a potion and heal 3 damage. So if I take only 1 heart of damage, which I would do here, I'd be at 2 hearts. Using the potion would still put me at full health, but I'll lose 2 times. I'm going to go with the option that gives more health damage, ironically. And I can gain another mana die, because we already have Crushing Blow. So before I do anything else, heal. And let's explore. Yeah, and since I explored, I might as well stick with that. But I could start thinking about the Writhe and others now. The skeleton, if any boxes are empty, spend 2 times. So this is an example of an encounter where it is probably worth fleeing if you think that you're going to leave any box empty, if you expect to take them on later anyway. Now, I am starting to run out of time because we're at 8. So after this encounter, there will be at most 6 cards. So I won't really have much of an opportunity to return to Skeleton. But despite how bad of a roll we had last time, I think we can do this. I'm going to do 1 Daring Gamble. Get a 1. Alright, well. That blows. But everything else, I did not roll any other 1 this time. So I can set these aside, although one of those manas can go there, and 1 mana can go in Flame Weave. This 1 and this 2, this 1 can go towards Crushing Blow. Alright, so this 2 is now not going to do anything. I have to cover that mana 4. And now everything else is uncovered. Or all the shields are covered, so I can start placing things in squares. So certainly the Strength 6 has to go there. And there doesn't seem to be a way we can cover that Agility 5. Actually, there is a way we can do it. Yeah, so let's get rid of these because I have to remove all other dice before I can remove the shield dice. Take that mana 5 away. I can put the Heroic 4 there. And then these manas aren't doing anything directly, so I can convert them to a Heroic to cover the 5. And then the only other square that's remaining is the Strength 3, which I can deal with another Heroic. So let's end the encounter. So still a rogue just feels hard in general because the passive is likely to be a huge setback. Power seems better for traps to prevent the trap penalty. Well, you have to figure that if you always do a heroic, the Daring Gamble with 1 die, it's a 17% chance that you roll a 1. So if you do this on every single encounter, on average, you're going to take 1/6 heart of damage and lose half time. So I think that if you put it in terms of that, it's not as bad. I generally avoid the 2 heroics because as I said, it's a big chance. It's about a 30% chance, I recall, of doing that. And so, you know, it's 30% of a heart each round, and 0.9 time, which is, I don't think, worth it. Let's convert a mana to a strength, because now I'm more balanced in all 3 stats. And then let's check this door out. Now, certainly other heroic feats are interesting. Like, I think the, what are the ones I remember? I know Phonetics is if you have a pair of 1s, or for each pair of 1s you have, add a heroic die here, and then you can roll 1 or all that you store here. Paladins, I think, maybe? Or is it Warrior, where every damage you take, add a heroic die here. Which, every time you store 1, you can use it later, and you can choose when to use it, for sure. But in those cases, well, in the Warrior/Paladin, I don't remember which case, you have to actually take the damage in order to gain the die, so, you know, sometimes it's worth deciding I'm going to take the extra damage just to get that die for later. But with the Rogue, you're not pre-damaging yourself to get that. The Warrior, okay. The Paladin is the one where every time you reveal a 4 experience? Or is that every time you convert something to experience? I don't remember. No, that would not... Oh, there is one that says every time you gain experience, add a heroic die here. Store a heroic die, rather. Alright, Pit of Spikes. I can at least utilize my agility here. We have the heroic die. I do have to cover that 6. Well, I don't have to cover the 6. I can just take the heart of damage. I will enter. I will jump over. I will do 1 heroic. And I get 1. 1! So I'm already taking the damage and doing that. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Alright, so let's see. If I cover the 2 and the 6, the 14 is definitely not happening. So I'm definitely taking damage there. But that's okay, because I can potion it back. And dexterity is another fixed number thing. Now, if I stay here, I have to fight one of these. Fighting the Wraith means that I will spend or convert 1 item to experience. But I think we could probably take her on now. The Ice Elemental, spend 3 time, will certainly do 1 damage to me straight up, and it's a harder fight, it seems. The rewards, we have a Strength die, mana, and heart. Hearts are nice. Spend 3. Well, we're filled up on skills, and I don't like the roll skills, so I'm not going to bother with those. Yeah, the stored dice you can't use on the boss. Generally, like, most of these heroic feats have the skull crossout symbol. Not all, but most. So, this heroic feat of Daring Gamble cannot be used. I'm going to go fight the Wraith. This is going to end poorly. Especially because I forgot to use the potion, which I wanted to do. So I'm going to do the potion, and then I'm going to fight the Wraith. And I have to convert one of these. I'm going to convert a strength because I'll get the strength back. I'm going to do the heroic feat. Now, this is a little more daring because if I do spend a 3 time, I take an extra heart of damage since we're at the door. But I rolled a 6, so that's perfect. And then we have some die here. Dice plural here, but I can convert the 1 to a 6. I can spend 3 mana to gain a 5. Which is not any worse than any other option. I can spend 3 agility to get a 6 agility, which there's no agility here, but this is very useful because now I can get a heroic 6 with this. But I'll think about that for a second. First, to cover the shields, I don't have a strength 5, but I do have a strength 6. The mana, I have a 5 and a 4, which unfortunately means I can't cover these 2 squares with the mana 4. But I do want to try to save this 6. So I can plop that there, and that covers that 6. Strength, I don't have a strength 5, but I do have a strength 3, and both of these are going to be equally punishing, so I'm going to put that 3 there. This heroic can be used on the strength 3. And now my goal is to somehow cover these 2 5s, which I currently cannot do both. I can do one. And that 6 here is also going to do the same thing. All of these squares basically do 2 hearts of damage, with the exception of this 3. This 3 does 2 time, which is equivalent to 1 damage. So if I could convert this 3 to something, that would be nice, I guess. I'm gonna put this here, though. I do want to try to remove this 5 and place it here, which I can do if I can get 1 extra number on this, which I can do by conversions. But first, let's convert these 2 6s and place this on the strength. Then I can convert these 2 agilities, get the heroic 4, and now I can steal that mana 5, and now everything's covered. So, got my strength back. I got 2 experience basically from that encounter. Was it worth it? I don't know. Alright, so at least by getting to the 3rd floor, we have another check mark. So I'm sitting on 3 check marks right now. If I can get to 6 check marks, I will at least be able to gain a basic skill, which can help. Or I can do it in a different focus to get something else. Alright, Ice Elemental again, but this one is worse because we have that strength 10 here that blocks every other square, and I'm still not happy with where my strength is. So I'm just going to flee this. It's unlikely I'll get to level 4, by the way. We have the skeleton, and I'm just going to fight him. I'm going to do 1 heroic. Yeah, rogue is not good because of all the mana and strength required in here. For sure. Well, not necessarily in here. I guess, like, the only thing that's unique to Dragon's Cave are the squares on the right, plus the things you have to do on each floor. And certainly, like, the strength and mana requirements here are terrible when you don't have strength or mana. Both EJG and Bella Sorciere says warrior for Dragon Cave, so if I fail this, and when I fail this, we can bring the warrior in for the 2nd attempt. It's been less than an hour, so we can certainly do multiple matches. Alright, well, let's throw this strength 1 there, this agility 1 here, and this heroic 1 now doesn't really have much of a use. Can't even do flame weave with it, so I'll throw it here, and I'll throw in a mana die there to get the 5. So I can cover the mana shields, and the remaining mana is good for that. The strength things, well, if I ignore the need for the strength shield, I can cover most except one of them, which will probably be the time one. I do have a number of agility die here. 1 should hopefully cover that 5, but I can convert 1 to a heroic 6. With the heroic 3, I can cover that strength shield, and then I can place these down here. And then this 3 I can't cover right now, but that's okay, because I'll only spend 1 time. Oh wait, a box is empty, so I'm spending 2 time. Alright, I'm at my item limit, potion invisibility. I'm gonna take the experience. I just want to get to the boss. Getting to the boss will give me more check marks. Then the locked door. We're gonna bash it open. No, not bash. Actually, we could bash it open. Nah, we'll pick the lock. Daring gamble. That at least covers the shield too. And we did not get a 6, so I can't cover the 6, but I can cover the 2. In fact, I didn't even get a 5, so this is actually really terrible because I can't do anything here. Oh well, at least I get to the boss faster. I'll take the experience. Gives me a potion. And then I can use the potion to heal right now. Oh, let's check this door. I hate it when I don't roll anything good enough to cover a shield. Oh well. I'm just gonna do this. I rolled a 1, but that's fine because now I can get to the boss right after this fight. I'm kind of trying to speed things along, but not die as well. Alright, so the strength, the agility, the mana. So, have to cover the shield, but with the dice that we have, the mana is covered. The agilities, if I ignored, well, probably want to try to save those 6s, maybe. Ideally, I cover those strength squares, but I guess the ideal would be to use a heroic 5 there. And put that there. And then this 3 and the 1 can go in the shield. Okay, so if I do that, I can cover those. In fact, yeah, I don't need to convert that at all. Done. Yeah, the fairy is really good at letting you explore beyond the end of a dungeon, which is nice. I mean, I don't anticipate beating the boss, but I will take a skill. But I'm now here, yay! I can't dare and gamble anymore, no! Okay, we have a 5, or agility 5. We have some pretty bad rolls everywhere else, though. We're probably not going to survive, but I can at least get my good dice here. Yeah, I cannot cover that agility 6. False. I can throw this cleave. I can throw this into cleave. I can increase this to a 5. And then I can cover that for sure. In fact, I can increase that by 1. So the ones I want to increase are there. And then I'm going to die because I'll take 8 hearts of damage, but I'll at least have theoretically done 3 damage to the boss. So it doesn't really matter what the remainder does, but the agility die is useless. Oh, and I can't. Wait, why do I have. Oh, because I want to increase that one. That's why. And I want to increase that 4. There we go. There. And certainly I don't have enough to cover those. Even if I move these over, I don't have enough. So I'll stick with the one that gives me 3 skulls, because I'll at least feel like I did 3 damage, even though I take my own damage first. But I at least have enough check marks to get a basic skill. And I generally, so I've been focusing on the healing focus, or the healing, yeah, focus, right? Healing focus, but is there, I know someone loves the knowledge because of the extra heroic die against bosses. But fearlessness is kind of strictly better in that regard. These focus on the perils. These focus on the combats. Hi, late. I'm lewd. Dad jokes. All right. Where do you think I should place this? It's only gonna... Actually, no. This should affect all heroes, right? So... Because it's the gauntlet. The dungeon looks pretty meh compared to expansion trees. Healing if you want to do warrior. Okay, we'll do healing then. So if I hit continue run. Okay. So EJG said Warrior Fairy is my go-to. So let's do Warrior Fairy. By Fairy, I mean Kalyana, I guess. Oh, but I'm doing a single one. Oh, right, because I selected one. All right, so we're going to do Warrior then. And we have the basic skill. So the Warrior gives me 4 strength, 2 agility, 1 mana, 6 hearts. Store a heroic die here for each damage you take. You may store up to 2 damage at a time. Second wind, when you descend, heal 2 damage. So certainly more strength oriented. So skills that focus on strength can be useful. Double strike, I can gain 2 strength 3s. I actually used this in one. I generally thought it wasn't too strong, but then I realized I can convert this into a heroic 3, which means it can either be used as 2 strengths to fill a big square, or I can convert to a heroic 3 to try to cover something else. Inventiveness can help with some peril encounters. Piercing Blast, I don't have good mana. Indomitable, I don't really like re-rolling because my luck was bad the first round. It's generally bad the second time. Force Bolt, don't like. Precision is better on like the Rogue, for instance. True Strike, gain a 4 of any type. Now, if I wanted to get the heroic 3 with Double Strike, then certainly True Strike would be strictly better for that. Actually, I kind of like True Strike. Ingenuity and a peril encounter increase 1 of your dice by 1. Yeah, I'm gonna go with True Strike. Oh, and I'm gonna choose a dungeon. Oh, I can choose any dungeon. Oh, yeah, we're gonna stick with Dragon's Cave to try to get it out of the way. So, I'll do that. All right, this time with a strength setup, we're facing the beetle who has 1 mana and 2 agility things I have to worry about. If any armor boxes are empty, discard this instead of looting. So I do actually have to cover all the shields. And with no heroics anywhere, I'm actually just gonna flee. And the Ice Elemental. Still pretty bad on mana. Excuse me. Flame statues. Well, also bad on mana and agility. I'm gonna flee from this one as well. We're off to a great start. Bear traps. Oh boy. Agilities. The background switch is reset. Alright, I'm not gonna do bear traps either. I'm gonna go for Ice Elemental. We're gonna get good rolls. We got not really that good rolls because this 3 is useless now. Throw everything here. Have to get a 2 to cover that. This is why you like 2 characters. Yeah, 2 characters actually helps a lot in my experience. Like you have so many more options. I can gain a 4 of any type, and I can, well, I guess I'll do that because I get the heroic, and I can convert this to a 4, so I can at least cover something. Great, this was a fantastic choice. All right, but I got the 2 heroics here, so I can at least, yeah, I need dice. I have 2 heroics, now I can go in any encounter, really, and use both. And now I'll just go against the beetle. And use both. Get 2 4s. Still need to get a 5. I got a 5. I also got a 6. So I'm good on mana. Good on agility. Good there. Alright, well. We beat the beetle. Yeah, crushing blow. Fixed numbers. Oh boy. Making a heroic die uses 3 dice, not 2. I almost always forget that right when I plan things out. And then I go, alright, I can do this. I can convert these 2 dice to get a heroic 5, and I need 1 more. Shoot. I mean, EJG despises fleeing, so I'm gonna go and fight the encounter. Alright, none of these are shields, so that's good. Let's get a strength 6. The strengths are covered. And then I can get that 8 covered with this. Alright, we did it. We're stronger. I'm still at my item limit, so I'll take cleave. And we have the skeleton. We avoid fleeing because of EJD strats. If everything goes wrong, you could just blame EJD. Alright, we have a mana 1, which is terrible. I can get an agility, or I can actually increase that mana 1 to a 2, so it's not too bad. But I do need to get, in fact, I'm just going to do this. I'm always going to choose heroic until dice colors become problematic, which is not always going to happen. So I still need to get, actually time's less, or time is better. I need to use cleave, so I need to convert dice, and then I mean, I do agree that warrior's a good choice. A better choice than the rogue. Even though it's not been working out too well, I don't place blame on anyone. I fled the first 4 encounters for -8 time. Let's talk about that. I'm at my item limit. I don't want to replace that item. I'll take that. Let's talk about that situation. I think one of those was the ice elemental. Whichever one I fought, I forget which was the one that I got a lot of damage in. It was not that one. Was it the ice elemental actually that I couldn't cover many things? So it's had a lot of consequences. Or no, it was... Actually, I have no idea what it was. One of the ones, if I had faced it initially, I would have... Actually, no, let's talk... Yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If I had fought the ice elemental straight up and not been able to cover at least 2 of these time squares, I think I ended up covering everything in this fight, maybe. I could also be lying to you. But if I had fought him initially, I would not have been able to. I think. I could also be wrong. Alright, I'm definitely going to do this. I do have 3 agility, so I'm going to rush through and use my heroic feat. Alright, that's excellent. And that's excellent. That's enough. So, mana and potion. I'm going to take the experience and I'm going to descend. Second wind triggers. So now I'm only at 2 hearts instead of 4. Oh man, the ogre. I'm at least a little more strength focused, but I don't think... Because I have to, at minimum, have 2 6s here, 1 6 here, and at least 2 die here. So there's 5 die that needs to go over here. Plus 1 strength. So I need like 6 strength / heroics at minimum to cover up all those. So can I flee from this, EJD, or do you think I should fight this because fleeing is terrible? I'm gonna wait for his opinion on this matter. And by his, I mean his or her, because it could be a she. Ogres are like mini bosses, indeed. I mean, you have to imagine that, like, there's no special text on this fight, so you sort of have to imagine that, like, the extra text is basically a strength 6, mana, agility 4 thing. So, like, at least we don't have to convert 3 dice to get a heroic, or at least we don't just spend 1 time for each 1 rolled. If you roll all 6s, what could go wrong? That's the spirit! Rolling all 6s. See, I rolled all 6s. Alright, crushing blow. Gets me a 6 there. And I can cover that. I don't know. I can cover the 4, I can cover the 5, and then I can't cover anything else. So, this is where I die because I'll take 6 damage. But at least I didn't flee. Alright, so alternative option, I use cleave and I increase these by 1. Using cleave means I will lose something, but I guess these 2 dice aren't doing anything right now. I can increase these. Get a 6, get a 5. I take 5 hearts of damage, I still die. The alternative is I get a 4 of any type, but that doesn't help me. Unless I go back before I used cleave. I'm a little too far back. I pull this 4 out. What does that do for me? I had a reason to pull that 3 out, or that 4 out, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, because I'm going to use True Strike. And then I'll get the Heroic 2. I will increase these 3 dice. The 6, the 5, and the 5. And now I take 4 hearts of damage and I survive. OBS says that I haven't dropped too many frames, but it is possible that I could have had a net issue. But it does say I'm connected. Everything looks green on my end. Let's take the experience, because then I'll level up. So I can equip more items and more skills. Fire Elemental. Before the encounter, 1 hero loses a heart, and then I die. Well, then I do have healing, which I forgot to account for. I don't need Mana Fountain right now. And this is Agility, which I would rather get in mana, but it's a die. But I can just flee past him because I don't know that I'll have enough dice to cover everything, so I'm just gonna invisibility. I beat him! Yay! Yeah. Oh, I should also be using this potion, but I forgot to. Yeah, enter. I have 4 agility. I'm gonna roll. Yeah, I'm gonna do the dodge them. But I want to roll 1 or all. If I roll both, it's a little overkill, I think. But I do need to get a 6 to avoid taking that heart of damage. Which, if I do take a heart of damage, actually, I gain the heroic back. So actually, I'm gonna roll 1. And I didn't roll a 6 anyway. In fact, I rolled pretty poorly. Still have enough to cover the 14 though. But I will survive. I get the heroic. And then I have a mana skill, but I don't like that. So I'll take the item for an extra die. Now I will heal. And I'll save 1 potion for a possible invisibility later. Plague Rat. Alright, enter. I'll roll 1 die. Excellent. And 2 is at least something I can be thrown somewhere. 3. Oh, I gotta cover the shield, but I can do that. I can cover the 5, cover the 3, cover the 5, the 3, the 3, the 5. Yeah, that fight was easy. This was meant to be a reminder, not an order. Drink your potion immediately. Drink it. Ugh. I guess Flame Weave I can use heroics on, so I'm gonna take that. But I still need to gain mana. Oh boy. Mr. discards 1s and 3s. We're gonna enter, because the rule of thumb is never flee, because 2 time is too costly. I think EJB fled the chat because you probably interpreted my messages as ridicule when it wasn't. Oh boy, that all got discarded. That's kind of tragic. But I can cover the 4, A4, 5, the 6. You're trying to think of a dungeon card you don't actually hate and you're coming up empty. Yeah, a lot of the cards, like the difficulty, the 2 experience ones tend to be fair. The 4 experience ones tend to be awful in any regard. I think no matter what, well, so I can't use True Strike currently. And even if I use it, I would need to beef it with Cleave in order for it to actually do anything other than cover this 3, which is silly. One damage, 1 time, or 2 damage minimum. Well, that's none of the above. Oh no, never mind. I can do this. So that's 2 time. Or 1 damage 1 time. There we go. The Pycross already saw the board. Okay, warriors at skill limit. Warriors at their skill limit. Item limit, skill limit rather. And triple strike, as good as it is, requires a lot of strength dice. And I only have 5 of them. I only have 5! I mean, it does also include heroics. But generally, when it comes to triple strike, I always feel like I have to put a strong die into it. Which at least, I mean, 5 strength, 5 agility, 5 mana. Even if I put a 5 strength into it, I get it back. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I'll replace Flame Weave. The Writhe! Before the encounter, turn 1 item into experience. Alright. Convert the strength, I guess. Get that. Yeah, now if I go for triple strike, I have to sacrifice something, but I do have a lot of agilities that aren't going to be used. And if I put this 4 in, arguably that will make up for it. Whatever, we'll do that. I do probably want to get a mana 6. We have Cleave. We have True Strike. But other than that, that mana shield, we kind of have everything covered. But the mana shield we can cover by converting these, so that's fine. Alright, everything's covered. I'll take the item. So this fight everything you see tactic, mostly working out. Probably, well no, I'm holding on to the invisibility. Do I want to invisibility this? I don't feel like I want to. Although, heroic die using 3 dice is really costly, but we will manage. Okay, we have good strength. Mana is covered. Oh yeah, none of these are shields. Strength is covered. Agility is covered. In fact, we're done. Alright, that was easy. Good dice roll there. Do I want to get a mana at the expense of probably the strength? I think I do. Alright. I will use 1 potion. This is the last encounter of the floor. Oh boy, it's this guy! All 1s and 3s are discarded. Look at all those discards! Whee! Alright. 4's covered, 4's covered, all the shields are covered. Agility's covered. It's like all I can do, I think. Yeah, covering 2 hearts is a little better than anything else. Have to cover the shields. Those agilities are doing things on their own. This mana is good for nothing, so that is how this encounter goes. And let's take... Steady Hands is only going to be good in peril encounters, not against the boss, which is annoying, so I'm going to avoid that. Like, it can be nice to have that extra heroic die in the perils, but I'm going to go with more dice overall. Alright, so now we're at level 3. 5 strength, 4 agility, 2 mana. So we should be good for the time being. Glooping Ooze, spend time for each one rolled, gives me an item, which is mana, which is what I want. I will roll 1 die. 6, perfect. Ooh, lots of 6s there. 1 of each color. 1/1. Okay. Boom. I guess Crushing Blow. This Heroic 2 is not going to do anything except cover that, but then the Mana 2 doesn't do anything. So the Mana 2 is definitely going there. And then those dice are not good for anything right now other than maybe Triple Strike. In fact, Triple Strike is a pretty good use for that, so I'm actually going to do that immediately. Because I do have this Strength 2 that I can throw towards it. So that gives me 3 5s. I can increase one of these by 1. I don't think it really matters. The Strength is almost certainly good at this point. With the exception of I don't have enough to cover all 5 squares because of the shield, but the Heroic will do it. The Mana, I only have 2 dice, so I don't have enough to cover all of them, so it doesn't matter if I increase it, because at most they're 5, and then the Agility is just only going to be used to convert into a Heroic. But yeah, converting the Agility to get a Heroic 6 is probably the best decision. But I can cover all the squares. Oh, we have 1 shield left. We have 2 shields left. Pay attention. Actually, this is good enough, right? Because we'll have that Heroic 6 in Agility. Alright. End encounter. Let's get the mana. Armor Crush lets me cover a shield, like, certainly, but I'm gonna go with the mana die, because now I'm focused on what I need for the boss. And I need way more mana. The rune puzzle. I think the answer is destroy it. None of my skills are peril skills. We got the 5 that can cover that shield. We got a 6 that can cover the heart if we have enough. And it looks like we do. And without that heroic roll, I would have had to sacrifice this 5 to that, in which case I wouldn't have been able to cover the 11. So that was a good use of Frenzy. And I don't really like persistence as a skill, but I'll take it just so I fill up my skills. At worst, I can convert it later. Yeah, the peril encounters only involving 1 color is pretty annoying. It's manageable, but annoying. And we're entering. Do I want to clobber the logs or dodge the logs? I have more strength die, and this is a lower number, so it's almost overkill. I have 4 agility and 1 heroic, so I can't cover all for sure if I do dodge logs. I'm going to clobber the logs. I do have persistence, so if I roll like 2 1s, which I just did, I can use persistence, which is effectively a reroll. I get a 1 and a 5. So 2 and a 5, and I don't have a 6. So I will ignore the 6, I'll take the heart of damage. But that does add to Frenzy. Do I want Static Burst? The problem is it's a mana skill, and my mana is currently focused on mana squares. So I'm just going to take the experience. All right. I think I'm gonna bash it open. Yeah. Because then I don't spend the time. And the 2 worst die go into persistence, but I have good dice here. In fact, I probably don't need persistence. Other than the fact that I have to put a 4 in a... Oh, right. I have to put a 4 into 2, but I have more than enough to cover the 11. And I don't like these things, so I'll take the experience. Alright. This open every, or face every door you open strat has been working out to EJB's. Whoops, I just spilled my drink. I forgot that I just opened this, so it's full. Awkward. Only got on my shirt though, or my sweatshirt, so it's not too bad. All right. Enter. And I think I'm gonna spend. No, I'm gonna bash it open. Because strength is a little stronger because of persistence. We have a good roll. 3, 5, 6, and then 6s. My item limit. This will lower my heart count by 1, but if I take the strength away, then I'll have equal numbers of all 3 dice, which makes me feel good. Equal numbers of all. Although I probably do want to be more strength focused because all my skills are strength focused, but I like the balance and the equality of it all. If I go for this, yeah, I'm definitely going to do this for sure. Do I want to enter? Or no, if I use the invisibility potion, I'll take a damage, which isn't bad, but if I disarm them, I'll take a damage, which isn't bad. Actually, if I do that, I'll get a heroic die. And I keep my potion for later. So that's a little better. If I run through, I have 4 + 1 dice, and that's going to be the... Yeah, so I'm going to disarm them. I think because I will immediately be able to use that die. Because that effect will trigger first. Yeah, and then I can use my heroic feat. Alright, so now hopefully I don't get a terrible roll here, because that was a 1, which is scary. That's actually really, 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 really bad. Boy, I can't do a darn thing except cover the 3. Should have just done invisibility. One 5 would have done it. Persistence. Well, the thing is, in my experience, persistence doesn't work. Oh no, it does give me 1 die. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, I found that those skills don't do anything. But I do have 1 die. Alright. Do I get a 5? No? Alright, ending counter. Fair enough, though. Potions already identified. I'm at my item limit. Not gonna do that. So I'm gonna level up. So now I'm at level 4. Highest level, I have 2 heroic dice. I'm gonna use this potion immediately because invisibility does me no good. Alright, here we go. 2 strength 6s. a mana or an agility 6 and a heroic 6, which cannot be used on the right row. So triple strike is my only means of getting a mana 6. Or no, cleave is a means of getting a mana 6. So I definitely want to try to cover that. This is definitely going to get covered. Oh, I gotta cover the shields first, but that can go there. This agility 4 can turn into a 5 with cleave. And then this mana 5 turns into a 6 with cleave. I could also just put this 5 there, but I'm going to hold on to that because my agility is good for nothing else right now. So now what else do I do with my dice? The other strength is going to go in there for sure. Z's. My manas generally are going to go in here. There's 8 there, so I need 8 more. If I put the 6 in here... So wait, so 3, 6, 8 plus 6 is 14. So I can increase these by 1 to cover the 16. So that's how I'm going to use cleave. Now I can cover that, I can cover that, cover that, cover that, cover those. And then everything else goes into there if possible, and with Crushing Blow I can cover the 17. Success. Round 2. Alright, we have a strength 6, we have 2 agility 5s, 1 agility can turn into a 6, 1 mana can turn into a 6. And then my strength is currently at 10, my mana's at 7. I do have this one, which is probably going to go to cleave. And I do have a heroic 6. This agility 3 is not going to do anything for me. I can take 1 set of 4 damage and survive, and if I cover all the other 6s, the encounter's done. So is there a way that I can definitely survive that? True Strike can increase yeah. Like if I sacrifice that strength, 'cause that's the farthest away from being a thing. I also have Triple Strike, which I've neglected to use. And actually, I don't know if that's going to be worth it though. Well, let's sacrifice the 17, because I can survive without the strength 17. I'll take 4 hearts of damage and survive. So I'll Triple Strike. This can give me a mana 6 guaranteed. And then I can throw that 5 there, and I don't need it anymore. But then I still need to get the agility 6, so I'm still going to use cleave, so it's a bit of waste, but now all the squares are covered and I win. Alright, we did it! And I earned 11 circles. So I'll throw them all into prepared so I can start each game with an extra potion. And then I'll throw these remainder into durability so that future games I can have 1 extra health. Maybe. I need to get level 2 points to level up durability. But, yeah, we're getting started here. And, yeah, we can actually see my progress in the gauntlet now. We've defeated the Dragon's Cave. We have the checklist here. There's a leaderboard here. Is that showing up? It is showing up on stream. But, yeah. The high scores for Veteran Gauntlet Solo is 5. I guess it's just Veteran Gauntlet. Is 5, which is, of course, the minimum number of games because you have to do those 5 games at least. I'm not going to hit that. But we've at least taken care of the Dragon's Cave. I can worry about the remainder of 4 in the future. But it is now 8:30. I've been at this game for more than 1 hour, so I think it is time to shift over to Sentinels of the Multiverses. Actually, I don't know that was showing on stream. I was looking at the wrong window, so maybe not. But why is this not showing? Go back, accept. All right. Who wants to participate in viewer's choice? Missing number is down. Seamus says, yes, please. Here. Are we participating? So the way that viewer's choice works, if you want to participate, I'm putting your name on a list, and I ask each person one question in order. Oh, I should also make sure I change the game before I forget. I ask each person one question in order, and I've been sticking with the same order of questions, so there's not really a surprise, but I will ask, the first question is, are we doing classic or team? And the first person on the list is missing numbers, so I will go and ask missing number that right now, classic or team. And the answer to that question will determine what kind of game we're going to have. It will also influence the next question, which is going to Seamus. Missing number says classic, so Seamus's question is to choose, it's not a question I guess, but choose the villain. And then King Banhammer, 3, 4, or 5 heroes. And then I will change the game there, updated. Alright, so the villain is Plague Rat. And we're playing with 4 heroes. So, since Bella Sorcier has not indicated positively that she wants to participate, missing number, choose hero number 1. Seamus, choose hero number 2. King Banhammer, choose hero number 3. And then I will leave hero number 4's question up to Bella Sorcier if she decides she wants to join in. So I'll ask missing number to choose the environment and Seamus to choose the difficulty. So if Bella Sorcier says she doesn't want it, I will give that question to King Banhammer. It's simply hero number 4, so it's not much of a decision to be made, but number 4, Parse. All right. We're fighting Ultimate Plague Rat. What? So for those of you at home who do not remember, the advanced rule for Plague Rat on the front side, increased damage dealt by Plague Rat and by infected heroes by 1. So more of a damage race. On the back side, at the start of the villain turn, Plague Rat regains H times 2 HP, which in this game will be 8 because H equals 4. So, yeah. He will regain a lot of HP on his flip side. He will do extra damage, and we will do, or the infected heroes will do extra damage. Yes, variant is included in the choice. King Banhammer said Unity. No one chose a variant. Build some liquid here. It's sticky. It's still Christmas. Let's stay in the temple. Yeah, so if you guys decide that you want to play with Darkwatch Nightmist, or Cosmic Inventor Writhe, or Termination Unity, or Freedom 6 Unity, or Fugue State Parse, that's up to you. King Banhammer says base Unity. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fight. All right. Decisions are locked. I feel the evil twisting of your presence. Now feel my power. Hey, presence! I feel the evil twisting of your presence. Get it? All right. Nightmist is starting with Elder Ring, Mist Form, Mists of Time, and Oblivion. Writhe has Lies of the Shadows, Lurking Shadows, Somber Tinker, and Swallowed by Shadow. Unity has Cryobot, Platform Bot, and 2 volatile parts. And Parse has Between the Lines, Exploit Vulnerability, Segmentation Fault, and Syntactic Analysis. What's Termination Unity's power? It is destroy a mechanical golem and shuffle it into your deck, move a mechanical golem from your trash into play, and draw a card. And none of those are reliant on the other effects happening, so generally you can do it on your first turn to draw an additional card, if nothing else. Alright, so Nightmist has a Mist form, and the fun thing about Plague-Rat is that he does not have ongoing destruction, so we can make Nightmist immune to damage for the next 19 years. If we so wanted. Which is actually probably okay. Because does Plague-Rat damage villains or non-villain targets? I don't know. Let's see, he deals each hero target, deal each non-villain target. Yeah, he does with his challenge rule. Deal each hero target. So we can make Nightmist super immune to damage. Yeah, because when it comes to damage races, being immune to damage helps. This is the boring Nightmist. Alright, Void Guard Writhe. Unfortunately, Plague-Rat's end of turn damage is irreducible, so his cloak isn't going to be too nice. But let's put out Lies of the Shadows and then get my cloak, because now I can destroy my cloak to redirect Plague-Rat's damage to himself when needed. Volatile parts. The question is now, do I want to play Platform Bot? I do want to play Platform Bot. He's going to get destroyed immediately, but we will have done 3 damage to Plague-Rat. I'm going to ignore the Plague Locust, because this is a damage race. In fact, I could destroy Shadowy Ambush. Yeah. And I don't really need Exploit Vulnerability as much. Shinobi Assassin goes after Platform Bots. Start of turn damage. Takes out the Shinobi Assassin. But we can put him on top of Nightmist's deck because it will certainly target Plague. No, it will probably target Writhe. Shoot. Shoot. But when Writhe searches his deck for the Shadow Cloak later, then it's fine. But yeah, let's prevent this damage. Because reasons. But let's destroy the Shadow Cloak on the irreducible damage part. Infection. Well, if I infect Nightmist, then nothing happens. And I can destroy the Shadow Cloak for the Writhe damage to keep Writhe alive. Alright. Let's not destroy Mist Form. So then I could draw 3 cards. Let's see. Draw a card. Blah, 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 blah. Destroy any number of equipments. Blah, 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 blah. Draw a card. Move an equipment from your trash to your hand. Play an equipment. I don't really want to do that because the Shadow Cloak's in my trash and I can use it with get it with the base power. I sort of want to keep this for something else. But I could perhaps draw an equipment card, but then if I... let's play Somber Tinker because I draw a card. Oh, but that's... Oh, but it goes after Plague Locust. Okay, so that's actually fine. So, yes. That is not an equipment, though. But I might as well just put the Shadow Cloak in play and then skip my power. Alright. Cryobot probably wants to go into play. Raptorbot! Hi there, Mr. Chomps. We're all your friends. Let's reveal the top 2 cards of Writhe, because Nightmist cannot play these cards. We get Umbral Siphon and Fight and Fade. Ooh, Umbral Siphon will be really good. It will stop the HP recovery, so we'll play that. But so that I could use its power after the cloak is destroyed, I'm gonna draw a Fight and Flayed. Fight and Flayed. Yes. But yeah. Put the Shadow Cloak into play with the play phase. Use the power to stop Plague Rat from regaining HP. Apprentice Poisoner. Joke's on you. You're hitting Cryobot. Alright, and then this takes out the Assassin. I'll put that on Writhe's deck again. This takes out the Poisoner. Poisoner damages everything. Cryobot hits everything. Cryobot is not going to last long anyway, but he served his purpose. Prevent this damage, right? Putting this on Writhe will be risky, but he will get lots of damage dealing with Umbral Siphon. I just will have to keep discarding cards with the Shadow Cloak. Oh no, I'm going to destroy it here. Oh well. Still worth it, I think. Alright. I want to play until, or I want to stay in list form until at least I get the amulet. We still have not drawn the amulet. Alright, Fight and Fade. You want me to know you were just about to watch videos of Eldritch Horror being played, but you wanted to watch One Deck Dungeon way more. Yay! Yeah, I'm the only weekly stream that has been playing One Deck Dungeon regularly as of like the past month when I learned the game, but Parse looks almost the same at low HP. Indeed. Alright, Shadow Cloak's in play. I can play a card. We're gonna play. Oh, we already have Umbral Siphon. I'm gonna put out Concealed Assailant, and then next turn I could use Lurking Shadows. But now with the Shadow Cloak and Plague Rat's Infection plus the advanced rule, I'm actually doing super damage to Plague Rat. So that's excellent. Writhe is the MVP of this fight currently. Unity, however, is not really. Unity's not going to make it past the next round. Probably. Most likely. Also, Writhe's deck got shuffled, which means that the Shinobi Assassin is now shuffled in the deck. Alright. Between the lines, I think, because give Writhe power uses. He would do lots of damage with this power, but Umbral Siphon will do slightly less damage without losing the Shadow Cloak, so. But yeah, Plague Rat's almost certainly taking out Unity and Parse in the next turn. Shinobi Assassin takes out Raptorbot. No, Raptorbot! Do we have discards for this? I don't really like Distorted Perception. It doesn't do too much. Shinobi Assassin. Put this on Writhe again. Infection. Well, Unity's almost certainly down, but Unity only has a supply crate, so it's better to keep Parse alive. But we'll redirect Writhe again, destroy the Shadow Cloak. Actually, let's see, infection that hero deals themselves 1 irreducible toxic is actually better if Writhe does it. If Writhe redirects his own, so I'm actually not going to destroy the Shadow Cloak. Oblivion, Astral Premonition, Call Forth. Call Forth could at least get me the amulet. Oh, it's the same amount of damage either way. Oh, well. Oh, I'm not discarding a card. Draw a card. Shadow Cloak is not in play, but I can still use the power to get the Shadow Cloak, followed by Umbral Siphon. Oh, but then this goes off, and that takes out Unity. Ugh. I mean, I don't have to draw it. Or I could just have it take out Unity, because she's going down anyway. And her incap abilities: one player may draw a card, one player may play a card. The hero target with the lowest HP regains 2 HP. So not too exciting, but Unity's dying from the infection anyway. So I might as well do that so that Writhe can draw a card still. Penultimate Penumbra is excellent discard fodder. And then stop Plague Rat from gaining HP, also dealing a buttload of damage. And I can then do Lurking Shadows with the card play. Yeah, we'll have... Oh, yeah. I was like, why are there only 2 heroes? Lurking Shadows, draw a card. Shadow Cloak is in play now. So increased damage dealt to Writhe by Plague Rat by 1. Or dealt to Plague Rat by Writhe by 1. Now, it's only this turn, right? Until the start of your turn. Okay. And we have another Between the Lines. So, super damage time. If I do the other power, I will do 15 damage to Plague Rat, but I will lose the Shadow Cloak. On the other hand, I have a Targeting Arrow, so I'm going to do Targeting Arrow, guys. Increased damage dealt to Plague Rat by 1. So now, hopefully, we get Mysterious Ceremonies so that Writhe could play a card and do something with it. Nope, Apprentice Poisoner, who hits and takes out Parse, so it actually flips Plague Rat, interestingly. I could keep her alive by destroying the Shadow Cloak, but not worth it. Wait, at the start of the villain turn, if all active heroes are infected, Plague Rat flips. All active heroes are infected. Why is the challenge happening still? Oh well. First time it would be dealt damage, discard it. So I'll discard Penultimate Umbra or whatever. Yeah, I think that flip should have happened first. Alright, that's actually fine. Afflicted Frenzy. Deal damage to the hero target with the highest HP. Which is still Nightmist, who is immune to damage. And this is the end of turn damage. This is 1 irreducible. It's only 2 now. It might be worth keeping the Shadow Cloak in play. Yeah, so that, well, oh no, I can prevent my first damage. Okay, so I'm gonna not destroy the Shadow Cloak this time, so that I can use 2 powers that are not Search for the Shadow Cloak. Now, is this the time to get out of Mist form so that I can do something? I mean, most likely, Writhe is going to win the game. So, yeah, we'll destroy Mist form. And then the self-damage, and then the self-damage. Rather, the Afflicted Frenzy damage. But do I want to Oblivion? Well, if I do Oblivion and then Writhe draws a card, but he doesn't have to draw a card. I mean, I guess the worst case is that I draw 2 4s, or reveal 2 4s, and then Writhe will discard to avoid that damage. Which then means I can't use Nowhere to Hide. I'm doing it. Nightmist has to do something. Alright, 2 to each target is fine. And actually that gets rid of Plague Locust, which was doing a damage increase. I don't know that was actually too good, but this does reduce the self-damage. And I don't have to discard for this now. But at this point, it's either Writhe wins the game or Writhe doesn't win the game, so it doesn't matter if I use my base power to draw 2. I need to... Let's discard to prevent the damage. Then this happens, I'm not gonna do the thing. Nowhere to Hide. Does damage. Plague Rat damage is irreducible. I can use a power. That damage is Umbral Siphon. Doesn't do as much as it used to do. But I have another damage dealing power that will win the game. Concealed Assailant. An ultimate Plague Rat goes down. So now Nightmist is standing there like, good job, team. We all worked really hard at that fight. And then Writhe is looking at Nightmist like, what did you do? Were you even there? I mean, making damage dealt to Nightmist, or making Nightmist immune to damage certainly was key. I mean, we kept what's his face? We kept Writhe alive. So I guess we didn't really need Nightmist's immunity. I mean, really, Writhe was the star of the show, but keeping Nightmist alive at least let Nightmist do an Oblivion at the last turn. But oh boy, it's just shy of 9 o'clock, but I'm gonna call it here. I don't know if you could have heard, I don't think my voice is too affected by it yet, but I'm actually starting to develop a cold. My throat's been a little sore for most of today. I've taken a few cough drops actually to help combat that. It's not really been working though. So I'm gonna go stop the stream now. This is the last stream of 2018. It was nice streaming to you on the Handelabra channel in 2018, but you'll have to wait until 2019 to see my next stream. I know it's a big, long wait, but I'm sure you can wait until next year for it to happen. But I am done for tonight. The other streams on this channel, most of them aren't happening, but normally we would have Tales from the Archive on Sunday. That's not happening this week. We would have Undeck on Monday. That's not happening this week. Sentinels Live on Tuesday, however, will happen. I will be doing the same thing I did this week, where I guest hosted / guest streamed. So we'll have the first stream of 2019 be Handelabra Live, Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. with me and John. And then my Dolphins Dive stream next Thursday should still be there. But as we get into the spring semester, which will start in about 3 weeks, I will be moving my stream from Thursday night to Friday night. It was originally Thursday night, moved it to Friday night for the summer, and then at some point in the middle of fall, I moved it back to Thursday night. But regardless, it's going to go back to Thursday night. Friday night, I can't make up my mind between the two, but what can you do? Work is a thing. I teach an evening class Thursday nights, which is why I can't do it during the spring semester on Thursday night. But in any case, those are the 4 streams that the Handelabra channel produces, and the next coming week you'll have a Handelabra Live on Tuesday and a Dolphins Dive on Thursday. If you enjoyed watching these 2 games, but you have not picked them up for yourselves yet, the winter sale on these products is still active. You can go and pick up Sentinels of the Multiverse and One Deck Dungeon and Bottom of the Ninth for discounted prices. And it's worth pointing out that this is probably the last time the Season 2 pack, while it's not technically on sale, will be at a reduced price. The Season 2 pass, like the Season 1 pass when it was still in process and development, is at a reduced price. And once Season 2 is finished, or in other words, when the Oblivion expansion is officially released to digital, then the Season 2 pass will be back out to its normal price. So if you've been hemming and hawing as to whether you should get Season 2, you should definitely think about it. I guess technically in terms of the winter sale, you don't need to worry about it immediately, but you do want to think about it before Oblivion gets released. And last week, 9 days ago, there were environment previews for Oblivion, so you can see that they are actually working on that content as we speak. Not this week, though, and probably not next week either, because, as John said, it's not a special stream, so we're not going to demo it. But anyway, if you like me as a streamer, you can follow my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LewDolphin. I've been doing a variety of content these days, mostly Civilization 5 multiplayer, with some Resident Evil randomizer, and I might throw in a new Resident Evil game. Not a new Resident Evil game, but I might. I've been thinking about doing a playthrough of Resident Evil Revelations if you have heard of that game, or you've played that game and you want to see someone play it. I'm not necessarily that good at it, but I do have a lot of experience with the game, and I need to play through it on Steam because I bought it on Steam a couple months ago. I played it a lot on PS3 played a lot on DS. I'm very familiar with the game, but you know, I have to go through all of it again because it was released on Steam, and now I want to do it all there as well. Also, my Twitter account, Dolphin21. You can follow me there, and you get alerts as to all sorts of streaming content, either on Handelabra's channel or on my personal channel. And I have a Discord, and Handelabra has a Discord, and there's an unofficial general Sentinels Discord. The Handelabra server is just linked here, discord.gg/Handelabra, but you can also find the realm of Discord through some sleuthing. You can also find my Discord. I actually have a link to it in my own channel. Dover has just cheered 100 bits to hashtag charity. Thank you, New Dover. Much appreciated, streaming companion and pal. But that will do it for Dolphins Dive this week, this year, and that will do for Handelabra this year. So see you all in 2019. May it be a better year than 2018, which was supposed to be a better year than 2017, which was supposed to be a better year than 2016, which was promised to be a better year than 2015. Wow. Anyway, let's put on some Plague music and call this a stream. Have a good night, everyone. That is not the right Plague Rats. That's Villains Plague Rats. All right. Good night.